Welcome to A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students, Lesson 216. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. It can be but myself I crucify. From Lesson 196. All that I do unto myself. If I attack, I suffer. But if I forgive, salvation will be given me. I am not a body, I am free. For I am still as God created me. It's a really powerful lesson. And as I have experimented with this principle, I have found it to be so true, so valid. All that I do unto myself. If I attack, I suffer. But if I forgive, salvation will be given me. I have seen this in really dramatic ways where there's this decision point of, am I going to take offense? Am I going to get reactive? Or am I going to get still and respond in power, in calmness, in integrity? Or am I going to be reactive? Am I going to have self-mastery, or am I going to be under someone else's control? Is really what it comes down to. And there's a principle, a psychological principle, that how we treat others is really a reflection about how we feel about ourselves. Have you ever known someone who is very kind and gentle and considerate of others? Usually someone who can show up in that kind of grace has done some inner work. And they may be still very hard on themselves, and they're able to give outward grace. And that may be a step on their journey. It is very difficult if we are cruel and harsh and judgmental towards others to not do that same thing to ourselves internally. It's, I would say, impossible in my experience to be cruel and mean and inconsiderate and not have that feel horrible inside. So we have just literally punished ourselves in our attempt to punish or correct or negate or nullify or justify whatever it is we think this other person has done wrong. Let's play with that today. Let's experiment with that. Whenever we feel fearful or apprehensive or a judgment towards someone, let's experiment with going inward and looking at where we may have been being judgmental or cruel or unkind to ourselves. I've had many experiences where I was upset with someone externally, and when I really got still and went inward, I realized what I was really upset with was what I thought that meant. It wasn't the thing. It was how I interpreted it. Oh, this person did this thing that seemed inconsiderate. Maybe I'm not worthy. Maybe I deserve to be treated that way. And from that reactive place, my ego is trying to assert itself. But it doesn't work to fix it out there, to fix it in here. The order of operations is fixing it in here, and everything out there will take care of itself. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else shall be added unto you, is a true principle. All that I do unto myself. Let's choose love today. And in doing so, we will choose love for ourselves. And love doesn't mean getting walked on or being a doormat or not having healthy human boundaries. Love is gentle and kind. Love can also be very clear and direct when called for. It's the intent. We can always know if we're acting from spirit or from ego by the intent. Is the intent to solve and vivify? Then that is coming from love. If the intent is to get even or revenge or to punish, then we can be sure that's coming from ego. It takes practice, but just like learning how to play the piano can take practice, we can get really good at this, or we can instantly identify if we are serving ego or God, if we are serving fear or love, and start making choices that are aligned with love and watching the blessings and the blossoming that comes into our lives from that. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow for lesson 217.